Welcome to another episode of Pakistan on a Plate. My name is Nilofer Afridi Kasi. Today we are in Rawalpindi in a Jamaat Khana of the Dawoodi Bohra Community. We're in Ramzan, as you know. So we will be having a Bohri style Iftari with the community. They have an extremely intricate and specific culinary etiquette, which is fascinating. Today we will see what they eat, when, and why. The instructions of why they eat specific dishes in the beginning of the meal, in the middle of the meal, and towards the end of the meal are all based on Islamic principles that their spiritual head sends to all the Jamaat Khanas across the Bohra community, across the world. In Pakistan, the Bohra community is about 30,000, some say 50,000. In the entire world, the community is about 1 million. They have very, very interesting recipes and culinary traditions. Let's go find out how they make it. Let's go.
Who are the Bohras? Dr. Sayyidina Mufaddal Saifuddin is the 53rd Al-Dai Al-Mutlaq spiritual leader. The Bohras trace their origins to the Arab community of Qaum-e Bahawas who settled in Surat and Khedi districts in today's Indian Gujarat state. Gujarati is the language they speak and continue to be the lingua franca for them spiritually and in secular life. It is a tight-knit ethnic community in Pakistan and otherwise. In Rawalpindi, there are about 240 families, approximately 1,100 people. The origins of the name Bohra comes from a caste of Hindu Bohras, still found in the Jodhpur district. The Gujarati word Bohra means to trade, an occupation which the Bohra community is still associated with. There are several subsects within the community based on where they came from and intellectual influences. The Jamaat Khana and mosque reflect the Fatimid architecture. Light brown sandstone with carvings and designs from Egypt and Yemen. This reflects their history. The community emerged from the Fatimid Ismaili sect and later moved to Yemen in the 12th century. And in the 16th century, the followers of Dai Sayyidina Daud bin Qutb shifted to Emperor Akbar's India. From then on, they were called the Dawoodi Bohras. The decorations inside the mosque and the Jamaat Khanas also reflect these linkages with Egyptian crystal chandeliers, Yemeni stained glass, and star designs. What was most pronounced was the cleanliness and absolute spotlessness. The space for wudu outside, dry, clean, with wooden sandals, the old style ensuring nothing remains wet. You could also see the attention to cleanliness and hygiene. There are signs and reminders everywhere in the Jamaat Khana and around the mosque. The importance of conservation of water, a bounty from God, not to waste, signposted everywhere. I was truly blown away that we have an Islamic community actually practices what is preached. As we weave back to the Jamaat Khana through the gullies of Pindi, my mind continues to be in awe of this community's sense of keeping to the principles of Islam cleanliness, simplicity, and humbleness. I've always believed what we eat and how we eat tells us who we are. Food is our map. Today's Iftari with the Bohra community reveals the very essence of Islamic principles. The Bohra Dastarkhan etiquette reflects many of these fundamental principles of Islam. No wastage of food, health consciousness, and follow the hadith of the Prophet, peace be upon him, regarding culinary culture and etiquette. For example, meat cooked with milk gives you strength. Hence, there's always a recipe in the Bohra menu that includes this. Another is lentils, black lentils, softens the heart. This is cooked traditionally on Mondays in Bohra households and Jamaat Khanas. One of our Prophet's most favorite dishes was rice with yogurt. Hence, during Milads, in his remembrance, this is always served as a culinary delight. The Janab Saab, who leads the Jamaat Khana, told me the Sayyidina guides all the Jamaat Khana's menus, what to cook, on what days for the entire community. I love the fact the Bohras take culinary seriously. Food preparation and what consumes is a spiritual and temporal matter and requires care and attention. The eating rituals are treated like a science, which allows us to fully enjoy the bounty before us. The hosts do not eat with us, they serve their guests first. The volunteers who serve, the Upri committee, bring in the thalis to the seated guests, who eat from a thali in a group. Every thali has a biodegradable plastic sheet to discard bones. Originally, they had bone bowls underneath the thali where they discarded the leftover bones or other bits. The young wash the hands of the elders before dining. Sharing the same meal, eating together communally without bar of class or gender in the Jamaat Khana. The men sit on the ground in one room while the women in the same in another. Before any meal begins, everyone cleanses their palate with a pinch of salt and also allow the taste buds to experience the full spectrum of the sumptuousness that is to come. At happy occasions, which an Iftari is, you always start with a mithas, a sweet dish. Today's mithas is a lovely date ice cream. Divine. You could feel the texture of the large chunks of soft dates. Dates are a significant symbol in all Islamic gastronomy and a great start to an Iftari meal. You eat with your hands, although there's a spoon as the only cutlery to scoop a khadi in this case or a morsel from the common plates. The hand is usually used. This is the traditional way to enjoy a meal in South Asia, and it is wonderful to see the return of this practice as common practice here. You eat in your corner of the thali. Everyone has a space in the common thali. Next, you have a khatas, a savory dish to balance the flavors in your mouth. In this case, minced meat or chicken drumstick with khada masala. This is had with roti. The salad, the bundi in dahi, which is a fried chickpea flour, tiny balls soaked in spiced yogurt with crunchy papri on top, a very typical Bohri recipe. The main dish is maggi with khadi, a typical Bohri recipe, slow-cooked mutton with moong lentils with a spiced gram flour soup. This is also one of the hadith recipes. The final course is a piece of fruit, but before, one has to cleanse one's palate again of all the aromas and taste we've just enjoyed. A pinch of salt again. To ensure there is absolutely no wastage of food, the thali is wiped clean. Not a grain of rice is left, nor a morsel of soup or meat left. The thali cannot have any leftovers. I was just in awe of these conscientious habits and respect for everything and everyone. The etiquette of serving food, the hospitality, and above all, the sense of community. Life is in sync here with the Creator and His gifts. The Jamaat Khana was buzzing with children, friends, and community members, happy, loving, and with a deep respect for each other. I just loved the bright caps the young children wore. Topis, intricately, delicately woven with sequins and bright thread. Stunning, gorgeous. The little boys in gold and white topis, the little girls in their bright multicolored designs. Ramzan is also a time of sharing and caring, and one of the lovely traditions is the exchange of gifts, a sign of mutual respect and also asking for forgiveness for any trespasses in the year. I thought this custom so thoughtful and deeply reflective of the message of what the month of Ramzan seeks of us. Meditative and beautiful. The ladies in their bright ridas, a two-piece lehenga and pardi on top. In all the colors and designs, many of them handmade and hand-designed. Back to the culinary delights. Next, to make the khaddi. How to make the magya next.
देखो अभी मैंने इसको शुरू किया है, प्याज ब्राउन किए, टमाटर डाले, अदरक लहसुन हरी मिर्च डाली है और बिरयानी मसाला और फिर गोश्त डाला। गोश्त तैयार हो गया ना, तो मूंग दाल उसमें
You make the bundi, dahi, The dining experience was memorable and a lesson of the Roza. Return to splendid simplicity. The hosts and the Upri committee eat after everyone has eaten. They are served by those who've just eaten. The kitchen volunteers, khidmat guzars, told me nothing is thrown away.
खाना हमारे थाल में से बचता है, उसके अंदर जो भी खाने जैसा होता है हम उसको रीयूज़ कर लेते हैं, और जो नहीं होता उसको एक होल करके डिग करके मिट्टी के अंदर दफन करते हैं, ताकि उसको वो उसके अंदर यूज़ हो जाए, इंस्टेड ऑफ वो सीवरेज और पानी में गटर में जाए। उससे बेहतर है कि इस तरीके से ये सारे वॉलंटरली एवरी डे कोई भी एक थाल आता है।
As everyone leaves the Jamaat Khana, they are given a lovely cool beverage outside, an ice cream soda. Such a pretty sight, green, cool and delicious. A lovely end to a delicious Iftari. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a blessed Ramzan. Until next time, Khuda Hafiz.